Mm-hmm.
how many, people sold the field, or whatever they are, there's so
Mm-hmm.
lot of them.
Mm-hmm.
But I guess you need a critical mass.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right there.
As of November, the forward was being 96 months in.
Okay.
Most of 2020.
So
Carla.
Because Carla is not collecting.
were you in awe?
Let me see that.
And he goes, wow, that shit. Tell me it all.
That's stuff that leads in plus track. Right? Leads in around plus track.
Did he
Yeah, the
respond
only
to
comment
your
is-
question that you had asked him about person?
Is it
County.
256?
No, we're gonna have to follow up with this.
The 25 county and towns was built in April.
Pam?
Doesn't become meaningful next July.
Did I get it backwards?
No, I don't
Yeah,
know.
but that's-
Well, the guys in the control room were giving me a hard time.
Oh, I asked
So
you,
have I?
I had Wayne.
What's he doing?
You don't care about that, right?
What kind of letter is it?
No, not a payment,
Oh,
just the list
On two
of
sides?
who's gonna go.
I'm sorry, what are you holding up?
we try to take it to the end of the month, so like if there's payments like
Yeah.
this week of December, you know,
Yeah.
you know.
It's
Ecologically
Yeah. We did,
proper,
it's December 3rd.
paper saving.
December 30th, you paid, not 31st.
Okay.
The county and towns are real estate taxes, right?
Why don't you go ahead and sign that?
Yeah, so that's the 30 million.
Can I don't know,
In April.
Without, on page 2 does not get the heading.
But they take it themselves.
Page 2 does not get a letter.
They take the money.
No, I know, they,
Right.
yeah, but it's got to be.
so Julie, you
No,
can
yeah.
change your
And I
mind?
made sure it was there, you know, you
Think
didn't
there's
have confidence in me there.
Sure there is.
No, I didn't.
I'm sure Debbie
That
was
was
right there.
No, she hasn't, well,
But I'm
she's
like,
been
oh my
elected,
gosh,
she hasn't
it's funny.
That's the portion we
Yeah.
pay, like, we can hold on to.
Thank you.
Yeah, so,
As you said.
the village only once years in April for the county.
I'm sorry.
You count for your
Yeah.
entities. So as of November,
Well, we used to like to do
256,650.
in public manner.
Bill,
By the way, did you read about that? The village, the mayor got reelected. First it was one vote or two votes.
Are you talking Dan McLaughlin?
One what?
You talking about Dan or Chance?
Well, that makes sense,
No.
because there's a lot of
Dan is the
people.
supervisor.
Right.
There's
It's not
something
bad.
that's
Jennifer
better
Lake
than
is the
part.
mayor, and we used to pay
There's a
Yeah, Dan
few,
got kicked out.
Parsons that open.
Yes.
part of the,
Right.
the Brooklyn of government. But,
That makes sense, though.
Are we obligated to pay out what we have received?
man,
Yes, we have to pay.
barely held on.
That's-
Yeah.
But
That's all that for me.
we used to have
Yeah.
lovely traditions, Jennifer decided
Every
not to
April, I
follow,
have to pay about $2 million.
going back to 150 years.
But we do that for
Where
the village too,
mayors
right?
would only serve
Yeah.
2 terms.
But
I'm sorry,
school
one
districts,
term of 2
you know,
years.
150
They would be
million,
on the
so
board for
Yeah.
50 years.
there's 2 million
Anyway,
outstanding, it's not like,
but
you know,
what
it's
we used to do,
1%, and then we keep collecting them throughout the year.
Right.
analogous to your
Yeah.
You know, so that's the
situation,
big one, so
is
How much is outstanding in
you
school?
will always be coming up with
It's-
committees.
there's
That
nothing
could be
as
shared by
for
the
all
form
school
there.
taxes.
Aha.
The committee on
Okay,
This
what to
September
do
bill
with
in
shore
this report,
park,
okay.
because I don't sure if
Yeah.
you've seen
this, that, and the other,
Right.
how to
The
address
second half of the bill.
issues or shared municipal
Yeah.
services or something.
Even though
Yeah.
it's.
So I'm sure Gary, even if you speak, is
He's always got
is
things
thinking
And
of
so it doesn't make sense to
committees
show
that you could share
Yeah.
to address,
Right,
to
right.
address
as of November, it's not.
Right.
issues of
Right.
Gary, my husband is gonna.
That cannot be a good situation when it is.
My husband is gonna be here.
I figured you're all gonna at least say bye, thanks, and I wanted to be here for my accolades.
Aren't we taking you out to dinner?
Oh, I don't know about that. He's not sticking around for the whole meeting. He's no joke. But I've been to more events and things. Oh, speak of the devil. I was just talking about it.
Oh,
Which devil? Two devils walked in.
Yeah.
Sam, have you ever met my husband?
We came up
Oh,
with it.
Oh, okay. Let me introduce him to everyone.
I was sure you know Gary, of course.
yeah.
Carla, this is my husband, Brad.
Hi.
How you doing?
Carla.
Nice to meet you.
How are you?
Good.
this is, oh, I'm sorry, yeah, you're gonna-
He's the new controller.
Oh, okay.
He's the new Jimmy.
Change one for one.
Yeah.
How are you? Good to see you again. How's everything?
After all this time, it comes too late.
Oh, I figured it was his last shot.
Hi.
And this is Randy.
Randy,
Randy, Brett.
nice to see you. Yes,
Should I
thanks,
have
man.
a tone?
Nice to meet you as well.
So now you've met the gang.
All right.
And,
That's
you're
interesting.
very prompt, I appreciate that.
Hey, no problem.
Yeah, it appears that no one else.
Seemed to think she was, make it seem that she was getting close.
So let's hear some objections.
I'm sorry.
8 years. You probably walked in here the first time. Can you remember the first time you walked in here?
Right after I had been elected, and I just felt she was so lovely and kind, and I just was like,
down, you know, if I things charge.
Bigwigs came out tonight. Here's the.
It wasn't me. Anyway, all right, you guys ready for that? Okay.
Welcome, everybody, to the Rye Town Council meeting of December 8th, 2025. Please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Please remain standing. O Lord, bless this assemblage. Grant us the wisdom to make every decision fair-minded in the best interest of all its residents. Amen.
Please remain standing. May I have a moment of silence? Deputy Mayor Nardi's mother passed this past week. I'd like a moment of silence in her honor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hope, please call the roll.
Councilperson Pamela Jaffe. Here. Councilperson Jill Axelrod.
Here.
Councilperson Randy Selyer. Here. Councilperson Thomas Nardi.
Here.
And Supervisor Gary Zuckerman.
Here. Tonight, before we go on to our regular business, tonight is the last official meeting, I hope we'll see her again sometime, of Councilwoman Jill Axelrod, who has served on this board for 2 terms, 8 very short years. I would like to acknowledge in our audience is our Congressman, George Latimer, our County Legislator, Nancy Barr, David Heiser from the village of Rybrook, a trustee there for many years. Also in the audience is Debbie Friedman, who is councilwoman-elect and will take office on January the 1st. So with that, we have some gifts for Jill. I would like to present. Do you want to go up front?
Sure. I think it's a good idea.
There's some proclamations. The first one is from State Senator Shelley Mayer. And she says some nice things about you. Commends you for your exemplary service and achievement in the community and in the state, and urges all citizens to share in this celebration. That's for you.
Thank you so much. I don't know where to look.
I think you look over here.
Okay.
I think we have one from
Oh,
the
turn
Board
it
of
around.
Legislators.
Oh, you can give it, are we doing them? Yeah.
Okay.
Or I can also.
Come,
Okay.
well, do mine over
Okay.
there.
Okay.
Do I get to say a few?
You get to say whatever you'd like.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right.
Would perhaps George can come up and join you for that? Absolutely.
My gift will be forthcoming
Yeah.
when I get to the floor of the House of
I
Representatives.
can't say we're doing this together anymore because we're different.
Smile.
I got it.
So, you go first. Okay, ladies first. Okay, so Jill. So the thing about Jill is, first of all, we've known each other for a long time. Our daughters were in school together at Linebrook. And I was just telling Brett how I still remember when he helped when my daughter fell on the ice at a birthday party at Playland. And he was right there and he was so helpful. Helped the mother who was deaf. But Jill, you know, we've worked together on the Board of Legislators for 8 years, and I'm so glad that you will still be at the board and helping us and doing great work. And I know, you know, from that, I know how intelligent you are and how hardworking you are, and we're very lucky to have you for 8 years here on this board. It's a lot. You know, a full-time job at the board, this work, 2 children, throw that in, a husband, you know, it's a lot. And you've really done such a terrific job, and we're all so very grateful here, also at the board. I do want to say, though, one of the things that I don't know if everybody knows about you is you probably have a career after this in stand-up comedy. Because Jill is really funny, and if you ever, you know, she can take some little, you know, thing that happens during the day or some other story or something, and she can turn it into a great, you know, anecdote that really reminds me of stand-up comedy. So I think
I think I need another job. Now that I
yes,
have this.
I know. I think that your husband will, you know, let you go. But anyway, we're so grateful for your service here. And this, of course, is a proclamation. You recognize it,
I do,
I'm
I
sure.
know it well, but it is beautiful and lovely to be on the receiving end. I presented these.
From the Board of Legislators, and my colleagues have all said to please send their
I appreciate that
regards
as
and
well.
thanks and congratulations. And we are so pleased to be able to give this to you.
I'm so pleased to accept it. It's really beautiful. Thank you. I really am. It's very meaningful
Well,
to me. So
you
I
certainly, you've earned it. You've definitely earned it.
I so appreciate everything. Thank you. Mwah. Thank you. Thank you.
And this
You gotta
is-
follow that up. Let's see what you
I
got.
think- I think, this is from the town of Rye, where you have spent, as I said, the last 8 years. that experience to your service on the council. I've really enjoyed serving with you, especially when we've had our arguments. That's the most fun of all.
Yes, for sure.
And you've been a valued member of this board. You have contributed mightily to the whole community over the years that you've been, what was it, 25 years you're here?
25 years, yes.
In the community, and only 8 on the board. But I'm sure you'll continue to serve in other capacities, because that's in your nature. And I'm sorry to see you go, but, you know, things must move on. You make these decisions, we all have to make these decisions at some point. And I just wanted to do that.
Oh, thank you. That's beautiful. I really appreciate it so much. I'm so
And we have
touched.
something else for you. Do you want to hold your
Wait a
part?
minute. Sure, yes.
We have something else. Whoa, it is a necklace,
Wow, isn't that beautiful?
silver necklace.
I didn't know there'd be
with
jewelry, my God.
Jewelry, well, every woman needs jewelry,
Right,
right?
come on now. And what is
Necklace
it
with the
called?
town of
What's
Rye.
it?
With its symbol.
That is really beautiful and so meaningful. Thank you.
And there's an inscription on the back.
Oh.
Let me take it out. I'll put this back. And the inscription is, "The town is grateful for your service from January 1, 2018 to 12/31/2025." And it has the town emblem on it. And
You can return the
Oh,
jewelry.
I don't
I don't think
know. My
that-
head is doing, but I will.
We'll put this in here.
Yes, perfect. I can't thank you enough. This is lovely. Yes. Could I say something?
I think,
Oh, I am so sorry, yes.
my gift will be coming next week on the House of Representatives. I'm gonna have a chance to honor you, and the speech that I'll have, I'll share a video with you, and we'll put it into the congressional record. And once that's done, I'll have a copy of the congressional record for you to have, so that you know that not only in the county of Westchester, which by the way, you'll be up on the big screen.
Oh, we're gonna have day.
The screen.
No,
We
I
got
don't, I
executive-
don't day.
We have
All
rules.
right, listen, I get it. You know. How much can
Right.
I go when I got a necklace on top?
But in any event, so that you have that recognition as well, in the House of Representatives Journal. I just want to add one other thing. I've had a great opportunity in my life. I've served in 5 different legislative bodies, and now in the Congress of the United States. And I must tell you that I have a greater sense of the commitment that you and your colleagues have made at this level of government than I do in the level of government that I'm at now, because you do it without any kind of significant compensation. You do it because you love the community you're in. And if you do have something to consider, when all of this is over, consider the improvements that have been made during your time on this board, as a member of this board. And I was here, as we all were, for this the holiday festival on Saturday. And I think we all remember where this building looked differently, and we didn't have an event like that. And that is something that you and your colleagues can take to heart. I'll add that both Clerk Vespia and Councilwoman Jaffe were dressed up for the roles on that particular day, which was wonderful. And as a family, we mourn Barbara for Tom as well. So you don't find that in other levels of government. The county board has some of that, but then when you get beyond that, it's different. But you've contributed to that environment here, and that will stick with you in the years to come. When you drive around, just for no reason at all, just drive up the driveway at Crawford Park, and drive down to Rhinetown Park too. Just look around and remember that that is in part what you gave to this community.
Thank you. That was beautiful.
Now Joe can knock his dead.
Oh, I just wanted to say a little something. I'm gonna leave these with, my Avi, if you could just. And I just wanted to say a little something. How funny to be on this side of things too, right? I want to thank the residents of the town of Rye for putting their faith and trust in me to represent them for the past 8 years. I've tried my best to ensure that their needs were met while maintaining fiscal prudence and accountability. I hope I fulfilled or even surpassed their expectations. I also want to thank former council member Lindsay Jackson and current council members Tom Norty, Randy Sellier, and Pam Jaffe. You are all devoted public servants and truly strive to ensure that living in the town of Rye is I'm getting emotional, is an incredible experience for all. The town staff is a top-notch group of dedicated, hardworking people who ensure that every department runs smoothly. With Debbie at the helm, we can all feel confident that things will get done expeditiously and properly, and that new and improved ways to run the town will always be forthcoming. And Hope, who has devoted over 50 years in service to the town, thank you for all you have done and the incredible kindness you have shown to me, as well as everyone else you've ever met. You are a treasure. Last but certainly not least, a huge thank you to Gary, our fearless leader, who gives so much time and energy to the Town Council and the Park Commission. He has shown me that with tenacity and vision, great ideas can be made into reality and paid for with grants, no less. And I want to welcome my successor, Debbie Friedman. She will be a fantastic addition, bringing many years of experience in business, budgeting, community activism, and engagement. It has truly been an honor and a privilege to serve on this council. I have learned so much from so many and have a newfound respect for anyone who chooses public service. I am so grateful for this experience, and I look forward to seeing the exciting things that lie ahead for the town of Rye. Ever forward.
Thank you, Jill, that was beautiful. Thank you. Thank you. Now, we have business to conduct. First item will be adoption of the minutes of November the 20th. May I have a motion and a second?
So moved. Second.
If there are no additions or corrections, all in favor?
Aye.
None opposed. Our next item is the big item of the evening, continuing the public hearing on the 2026 budget. We left the public hearing open at our last meeting. Are there any comments from members of the audience? Are there any comments from members of the public on Facebook?
None.
Do any of the council members wish to say anything at this time? Otherwise, may I have a motion to close the public hearing?
I think Joe wanted to say something.
Oh, no, I guess I could. No, I just want to acknowledge everybody who put in so much time and effort and work to craft this budget. And I just wanted that to be acknowledged. So, anyway.
Thank you.
It's a lot of work for a $7 million budget, isn't it?
Dave, do you,
It would be the same amount of work if
Dave,
it
you
were
wanna
a
say
$12 million
anything?
budget or a $4 million budget.
do you want to summarize the budget?
Sure.
What is our
So,
tax rate increase, if any?
I'm presenting my 22nd and final budget for 2026 budget. There was very minor changes to the line items from the preliminary budget we discussed in November. There is, we appropriated $408,000 of fund balance to the 2026 budget. The 2026 budget is tax compliant, so it's under the tax cap. The total appropriations are $7.652 million, which is 61,000 decrease over the 2025 adopted budget. So we're asking the board just to approve the budget tonight, to adopt it. And again, there's no changes to the real estate tax is levied. They're 2.3% higher in dollar amount. Our blended tax rate is 2.4% less than the 25 budget. So for a typical home value of 700,000, the tax rate comes out to about $274 in town tax. So
That's the best deal around, I think.
it's a pretty good deal in terms of, there's a lot of work. There was five or six budget workshop sessions before November with the board, and we had input from all the department heads to come to this budget at this point.
I think it's a great budget. I was surprised at those numbers coming in, and the amount of money that we took from surplus last year was what, 500 and something, 600?
Yeah, it was about 580,000, which was about 12.1%.
Right, and this year is
About 9.7%. Now, we were looking to, when the actuals come in through the end of '25, not use that entire 580. We're hoping to be about 180,000 or more or less than that, depending on the revenues, and we've, cut expenditures in certain areas too as well.
Yeah, I think it's an excellent budget, and I want to congratulate everybody who worked on it, especially the staff, Debbie, our accountants, Dave, people in the staff like Carla worked on it, and Ruby, who's not with us, and Carissa. Carla too.
She did.
Carissa did a fantastic job coming to all the meetings. She did a wonderful job. And I just think that the council did an excellent job analyzing it, asking questions. And I'm sure Jill is very happy. Her last budget is going out without an increase. So with that, those are any other comments before we do a motion and a second to close the?
Not yet.
Any other comments? Otherwise, may I have a motion and a second to close the public hearing?
So moved.
Second.
I'll call the roll this time to close the public hearing.
Councilperson Jaffe?
Yes.
Councilperson Axelrod?
Yes.
Councilperson Selyer? Councilperson Nardi?
Yes.
And Supervisor Zuckerman.
Yes. Now, a resolution to adopt the 2026 budget. May I have a motion and a second?
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
If there's no further discussion, Madam Clerk, please call the roll.
Councilperson Jaffe?
Yes.
Councilperson Axelrod?
Yes.
Councilperson Selyer? Councilperson Nardi?
Yes.
And Supervisor Zuckerman.
Yes. Thank you, everybody, for a job very well done. Our next resolution, and Jill made a little bit of an allusion to this about grants, is a resolution approving an IMA and corresponding easement agreement between the town of Rye and the county of Westchester for a grant in the amount of $1.9 million in connection with flood mitigation or flood damage reduction in Rye Town Park. Many of you watching may have read in the papers about our grant that we received from the state of New York for 8.1 million, I'm sorry, for a similar but larger project. This is county funding for 1.9 million under the Stormwater Management Program. It has already been approved by the Board of Legislators, actually this morning, after going through a process that lasted over a year, starting with getting the project included in what they call the reconnaissance plan, and moving it along through the planning board of the county, et cetera. And I want to give a lot of credit to County Legislator Nancy Barr, who's here, as well as Councilwoman Catherine Parker, who represents the city of Rye, where the park is actually physically located. It's been an effort of many levels of government, which we have advocated for from the time that I've been the supervisor and the park commission president. You know, it's like we're all in this together. We're trying to get things done for the people of the area, and we are succeeding. So this resolution is to approve the IMA. It still has to be signed by the county executive after going through the Board of Legislators, and it will be countersigned by the planning commissioner at the appropriate time. But I wanted to bring this forward tonight because this is our last meeting of the year, and the next resolution authorizes our engineers to go forward. So, again, a motion and a second, please.
So moved.
Second.
Is there any further discussion or questions?
Is this, this is by where the pond is? Is that?
Yes.
Okay.
This project is to bring a pipe across from Forest Avenue through the park, through the parking lot, and into a stormwater drain on Dearborn Avenue. I know it sounds a little, but the project is almost $4 million. So, so we've had a motion and a second?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm ready to pull the
Please
roll.
call the roll.
Councilperson Jaffe?
Yes.
Councilperson Axelrod?
Yes.
Councilperson Selyer? Councilperson Nardi?
Yes.
And Supervisor Zuckerman?
Yes. The next item is an authorization for the town to enter into a contract with Dolph Rockville Engineering, Division of AI, to do the engineering work to bring this project to fruition. The engineering firm has been working with us for many years. Everybody knows Dolph Rothfeld, who passed away a couple of years ago, and now he sold the firm to AI Engineering. Dolph Rothfeld Engineering is a branch, is a subdivision of AI, and they did the work, the preliminary work, to formulate the plan for this project. The original plan was funded by a grant from FEMA as a result of all the flooding that we had, especially from Hurricane Ida. FEMA did not fund the work that would be, this work to be required, even though they had funded the study. So we have gotten funds for the project from the state and now from the county, and we're continuing with AI to do the design and bidding phases, the final design phases, and the cost will be approximately $750,000, and it's based on the hourly rates for the personnel in the firm, which coincides with the same hourly rate that we pay them for all of the work that they do for us, whether it's in Crawford or Wright Town Park. So that's a summary. Any questions? May I have a motion and a second?
So moved.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Councilperson Jaffe?
Yes.
Councilperson Axelrod?
Yes.
Councilperson Selyer?
Yes.
Councilperson Nardi?
Yes.
Supervisor Zuckerman?
Yes. And the next resolution is to change the regular monthly meeting from January 15th to January 6th. And the reason for that is we have an inauguration to do. So that will be the meeting that we inaugurate our new and re-elected officials, and we have a lot of them. We have 4 judges, 1 clerk, 1 receiver, and 2 council people. So we will have the inauguration, we will have a reception, and we will have our reorganization meeting where we have to do all kinds of things. It's a long, not a long agenda, but a long resolution. So, motion and a second?
So
Make a
moved.
motion.
Oh,
Second.
no.
Go ahead.
I won't be here for it, so maybe you should move.
Can I have it?
You go first, I'll go second.
All right, so I'll motion and.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Our regular meeting will now be on January 6th, 2026. The next and last actual item before we do the reports is a discussion of the elimination of pennies. I know this doesn't sound like much of a topic. Carla, do you want me to tell everybody what this is about? Because this affects your office more than anybody. I know that you had discussion with the receivers group, correct?
We did have some discussion.
Yeah. It's interesting because an email went around surprisingly to me from our town supervisors group asking, what are you doing about the pennies? Under the law, the town must accept cash. We don't like to do that. We have been encouraging everybody to pay by ACH online. Those people that do not have their banks pay taxes through their mortgages. But we still have to accept cash. The federal government is phasing out pennies commencing immediately. That means somebody who has a tax bill of $4,263.42 and wishes to pay in cash comes in, and we would have to make cash with pennies that we might not have. This is not a problem immediately, but it will become a problem as time goes on. So
Gary,
there,
I have a jar in my basement that I would be happy to donate.
That'll carry.
I was waiting, Randy, I was waiting for that. Because one of our town supervisors also volunteered that he has a jar in his basement.
I do reserve the right to inspect them to make sure there are no 1929 Ds in there, in which case I can retire.
But actually, you know, we make a joke of it, but it is real. One of the towns has actually passed a resolution already mandating that all payments be exact change. They're not gonna make change. We have, I believe that's Austining, am I correct? Yeah. We have other suggestions that the tax bill be rounded up to the nearest nickel or dime. That cannot be done without state legislation. So I know that the Association of Towns will be working on this, probably also with the Association of Counties and NICOM, to talk about this issue as to what the solution would be. We raise this publicly because it's an issue. I was actually surprised when I looked at the agenda that I saw it here. I usually set the agenda, and I did not know this was on here until yesterday.
Gary, what is it a state law that requires?
Yes.
Okay, because you know, I recall several years ago going into a place and they said, we don't accept cash. And there've been articles in the newspaper about this, and I
I've seen
pulled
that.
my dollar bill out, and it says something like,
Legal tender.
yeah, legal tender, but apparently it is legal for a business establishment.
Yeah, but it's not legal.
But this is a state law.
Yeah, it's not legal for a municipality. We have to accept cash. We do not, I believe, have to accept we don't have to make change. We can mandate exact change, but we have to accept the cash.
They just passed a law that in restaurants.
Jeff,
or-
I know. You want to talk to the microphone, please? Yes, I know. I know the law you're talking about. The governor just signed it yesterday.
Yeah, which requires restaurants and other places of public accommodation to accept cash.
Oh. yesterday.
I think you signed it yesterday.
I withdraw my comment.
It's gonna go into effect in 2026. That's my report.
Oh, we got that one out of the way.
All right, that's, any further discussion about pennies?
Yeah, it just doesn't sound like a well-thought-out deal, eliminating pennies. It really doesn't.
Well, the cost to.
It costs 4 cents to make a
Make a
penny,
penny,
which
yeah.
doesn't make sense, pun intended.
Sense.
Yeah, it doesn't make
Nancy.
sense. Nice.
I have a question. Do I have to
Sure.
go to the mic? So,
Start getting FaceTime for your reelection.
so let's just say, for the sake of argument, that you say it has to be exact change or exact amount. What if somebody pays with all pennies or lots of pennies?
I think we have to accept it.
Okay.
Yeah.
There are cases I have read about, I forget where it was, but I remember relatively recently, of someone,
Randy, talking to the mic, either one.
my voice is so booming, I don't think it's necessary, of someone just out of sheer contempt for the government, bringing in a wheelbarrow of pennies.
Oh, my goodness.
And then will the government take those pennies? Can you do something with those pennies? Well, the banks, well,
That's the question, though.
I mean,
Or could it
I
be
think-
like
I
a
mean,
bank?
right now
We
you can bring your
insist-
pennies to, is it Balducci's?
Balducci's has it, they're
Somebody's
asking for
advertising.
pennies. Yeah.
Bring your pennies and we'll pay you, whatever.
And could you insist, this is getting absurd, could you insist, we will accept pennies, or nickels for that matter, but they must be in rollers, they must,
Yeah, well, I mean,
no loose change.
obviously, there's a lot of things to think about.
Can I ask, does anybody pay cash?
Yes.
Yes.
Not for taxes.
Yes,
Yes.
they do.
I'm just saying that.
Yes, in fact, Nancy, that was one of the issues when I first became supervisor, and I found out how much money we actually collected in cash. And we have people taking it to the bank without armed guards. So we had to change that, and we set up something in the office where you could put cash. Didn't really pay for us, but we had a sort of a vault that counted cash, and we had Brinks or one of those services pick it up once a month or once a week. Pardon me? Until COVID. I mean, this is an issue for us, and it's so much easier, and I'll stress it, I'm not even gonna have Carla do this. You can pay your taxes online through ACH, right out of your bank account, get an instantaneous receipt, and it costs less than a credit card payment. It's $1.50 charge for no matter whether you pay $500 or $5,000, it's $1.50 charge. It's the easiest thing to do. You have a record of it, and it gets credited immediately. It's easier than putting it in the mail, which costs you a stamp, and you're not sure with the Postal Service if it's gonna get here. It's easier than we have a drop box in front, which people can use to pay their taxes, which is convenient, and yet you have to drive to it. You can do it at home, on your phone or computer. Yes, ma'am.
Well, we know some people don't have computers or access to internet. So would you consider having something, if they're gonna come to your offices anyway, would you consider having something there so that they could make that transaction on,
Credit card transactions.
or from their account, assuming they have an account, but at a computer, in your office?
They do. There's a counter computer.
So they can do that?
Yeah, they can. The problem is, though, that if you are set up to pay online, then you already have a computer or a phone. Otherwise, how would you get online?
No, but that's what I'm saying. If you're not set up for that, first of all, there are people, of course, here who do not even have bank accounts because they don't trust banks.
So there are people who literally have their money under their pillows or whatever, mattress, I guess. But, you know, so they come in with cash. So that won't really help. That's actually not the scenario, though, that I was talking about. So let's stick with they have a bank account, but they don't access it remotely. They go into the bank. Right. So so they can pay their taxes by coming into your office and using that computer to move it from their bank to. Okay. So that.
Their bank to be able to do that.
No, they can go online and pay. They just have to know how to get.
They have to get, yeah, they have to have the knowledge to be able to get to the computer banking system of their bank. Yeah.
But if they have a checking account, they might as well just make a check if they're coming to the office.
Right. But what if they?
Nancy's an attorney, and she's raising hypotheticals as attorneys do.
Well, also because representing, you know, I understand that, you know, it's
Yeah.
hard, we don't always realize that there are people who.
Yes. And there is an older community in
But you
parts
do have
of
a good point
Portchester.
there. If someone has a checking account,
Right, why are they,
why don't you just write a check as
right,
opposed to
and
going
if they're
over-
coming to the office,
Yes.
so that's
In
why.
Right,
their
they can
very
do that.
office.
And now what if they don't have an account and they're just paying cash? Is there, so like how would you,
But the
if you-
cash?
yeah, well, so.
We take cash. so.
You do now,
Oh,
but if
we
you
always
were to
did.
change that, if you were able
We're
to
not- we
change,
can't-
I
we're
know
not-
you
Can't
can't
change
because
that.
of the state law, but if you,
I think they were saying they might require that the person paying provide the exact amount. So we are not in a position where it's like, oh, you owe me 3 cents, but we don't have that.
Right.
It's incumbent on them to figure out where the
Right.
cents are gonna, you know, come from.
Well, right now, we have all these people offering us pennies, so let's not.
Maybe we could institute a series of credit, so if someone owes 24 cents, but they only have a quarter, we'll give them a credit of 1 cent. There's so many solutions.
There really
I
are.
think, Jeff, I think this is something that you really need to hit the books on.
Nancy, one day a woman
But don't hit
came
me.
in.
How many pages would you like the memo? Is it billable?
This sounds like a job for ChatGPT.
Just one day a woman came in.
It's free.
And she was very upset about paying the penalty or something. This is going way back. And she came in with 1,500 $1 bills that were all crinkled. So we just stood there and, you know, tried to flatten them out and count it and thank you.
Service with a
Always
smile.
gracious.
So
Yes.
I hate to think about
I
pennies.
mean, you know, the easiest thing to do for most people is to pay online. We have to accept cash. We're raising this issue now. This is not an issue that we are raising here, as I say, de novo. This is an issue that's now been banging around among the receivers, among the supervisors, and I'm sure somebody in Albany has already been thinking about what they're going to do with it, because it's going to be a real issue at some point in time. It's not going to be an issue probably in 2026 or even 2027, but it will be an issue, and governments have to be prepared going forward to take care of it. Maybe the county, when it issues its tax bills in the future, will pass a rule that the taxes will be to the nearest dollar or 10 cents or something like that. And maybe other governments will do the same thing. I don't know, but this is just an issue that has been raised, and maybe it's raising more of an issue than really it's worth.
Someone has too much time on their hands.
Somebody,
The most that could happen, assume if somebody has a nickel, we're talking about 4 cents.
Right.
Just think about it. That's what it would amount to. And you can have my jar there and give them their 4 pennies.
here's the problem. When we do our annual audit, and the numbers of the tax numbers come in, and the auditors say, you received 4 cents too less, or you overcharged 4 cents too much, and they criticize us for not being totally accurate,
You can make up the 4 cents yourself.
Point is, it would probably cost more money to figure out how to do
Right.
that
I
than
am.
just paying the 4 cents. But anyway, nice discussion.
Yeah.
Let's move on. Report, Charlie, I don't know, do you have a report? I know that you weren't able to come tonight. It's okay if you say you don't have a report.
Don't have a full report, but I'd like to say the assessor's office would like to thank Joe for 8 years of hard work for the town. And it was a pleasure working with the last 3 years. I hope all the best in your future endeavors. I don't know.
I think he's praising you.
Oh, you're kidding. Is there a translation?
Charlie, you're not being heard, I'm sorry.
I heard something about 8 years, so I'm
Yeah.
not relate to you.
Well, thank you very much. That's the only, that's all you can hear.
If it was anything kind, thank you very much. All kind words appreciated.
And there's
Yeah.
the humor.
Okay.
Debbie, you want to do the grant status report?
Oh, sure.
This is something new that Randy had suggested, I believe, and Debbie ran with.
Well, it wasn't too hard to run with it because we've been tracking this stuff for years. That's not coming up, so I'll use this one. But it was actually, it's a great pleasure to start to include this as a feature in our, in the agenda.
Can you put it up? Can that go on that side so that the audience can
Yeah,
see
of
it?
course, of course.
Commissioner Patrick, can you help bring the screen up?
We've given up on figuring out what Charlie was saying.
Can you text?
Thank you. Thank you, Patrick. So
These are grants in progress,
correct.
not grants that have already, where we've completed the work.
Right, things that are happening now. At the top is the retaining wall at Rytown Park. It can't have escaped anyone's notice that the retaining wall is not only crumbling on both sides, but also preventing, because of the safety fencing that we have to put in place to protect the public, we are missing an entire row of handicap parking spaces. So we have finally gotten 2 SAM grants, or 1 low cap grant, 1 SAM grant from the New York State Assembly and the New York State Senate that will provide almost all, if not all, of the funding required to rebuild those walls. We expect to be going out to bid before the end of the year so that we can begin construction and have the project done by the time we reach high season in 2026.
That retaining wall, that's also what has the showers on the back of it,
Correct.
and they're,
It won't in the future.
it won't in the future.
Well, the showers will remain in the same location, but at the moment, our showers are not only mounted on the wall, but also several freestanding units. And I've discussed with the Friends of Rytown Park another donation of more freestanding units, and that's the plan.
Is the drainage from those showers part of the problem with the retaining wall?
Nobody has suggested that that's the case.
But nobody has suggested that it's not.
One of the things we have noticed is every time we do a construction project and open up a wall or a floor, there's an unpleasant surprise
Yeah, it's a
waiting
can
for
of
us.
worms, yeah, okay. I just wasn't sure, because I know there's ledge where the staircase is, there's ledge there, so you're not gonna get drainage there, so I didn't know if they had a dry well that went maybe by the pavilions or under the pavilions, or if it went down to the beach. Because if it just stayed there, then you're gonna have a problem undermining.
Well, either way, it's gonna be totally torn down and new footings
And
put in, and
everything.
it'll be a new
Okay.
concrete wall covered with stucco, just like the bathhouses, and that the wall is now.
Okay.
Right, so this grant is not a matching grant, so it's $500,000. If there is anything additional that will be matched, will have to be provided by our community and the city of Rye in the proportions that capital projects follow for the Rye Town Park. And then the Rye Town Park Bathhouse interior restoration project is fully underway. This was funded by 2 grants. One is a 50-50 matching grant from the New York State Office of Parks, Recreation, and Historic Preservation, and the other is a grant from Westchester County. So that, the size of that grant, the project is probably going to be, we know of $1,314,000 so far, so there'll be, and right, we have 951, we have basically $860,000 in grant money. Then there's the stormwater mitigation project, which we discussed earlier this evening. And that is, comes with a grant from Westchester County of $1.9 million. And we'll be using that in combination with the Green Resiliency Grant, which is awarded by New York State Office of Environmental Facilities Corporation for $8.1 million. There are 2 other grants that are pending right now that would influence this project. One of them is a congressionally directed spending request that was submitted by Senator Gillibrand and is currently still in the bill. It's one of 10 projects that are in the Department of Homeland Security bill, so we have our fingers crossed that it will survive. And we've also submitted a New York Swims grant as well, and that's New York State.
Debbie, the congressionally directed spending is not just for that, it's for also the coping on the seawall and the fence.
Yes. And last but certainly not least is the South Barry Avenue Bridge over Otter Creek, which is a project that was awarded in 2021, and we are finally at a place where, if everybody holds their breath, we will complete the acquisition of under $2,000 worth of property, and we will be able to submit a complete package to New York State Department of Transportation and be out to bid at the first of the year. And that was a grant for
4.5 billion.
thank you, but basically $4.5 million for it's a 95% grant, so intended to cover all but a very small portion. However, given inflation and where the bids come
Our
in,
estimate is quite a bit higher, and we're seeking other grant money to fund the difference especially from the state. No, Nancy, I'm not looking at the county yet.
I saw you looking. I think we're going to look in any direction for help.
No, actually, the Bridge New York problem, it's interesting. Let me just say, I'm on the resolutions committee of the Association of Towns, where we just passed our resolutions to be voted on by the full Association of Towns membership in February. And one of those measures is to increase funding for capital projects such as Bridge New York and CHIPS that affect all communities. One of the problems, and I had it inserted in the resolution, was to have increased funding, not just for new projects, but for current projects, to fund shortfalls in the estimates that not only the town of Rye on this project are going through, but I've spoken with other supervisors, not only in Westchester, but in Albany at the meeting. Everybody in the state has the same problem. And I'm sure, Nancy, they have the same thing in the county when they go out to bid for their projects, where the project comes in 1 year, their estimates, they come in, they wait 2-3 years, finally, they go out to bid, and all of a sudden, the project is 20% higher. And then where do you get the money? I mean, it's one thing if, the county has a lot more resources, or the state has more resources, but you take a town like Rye, where the estimate is $500,000 or $1 million more, not the estimate, the cost is $500,000 or $1 million more than the original estimate, and what the grant was based on, it's a big hit. And I'm talking about not just the town of Rye, the village of Rybrook, village of Portchester, city of Rye, Harrison, Mamaroneck, we're all in the same boat. I mean, we locally are very diligent in trying to get these grants and have engineering reports and estimates, and time passes where the granting agencies take too long to process. Even after they award the grants, it's, okay, now we need this paper, now we need that paper, we need this, we need that, and we need new estimates, and you haven't done this, you need to do that. And it goes on and on. In the case of this grant, it's gone on for 3 or 4 years, and prices go up. So, we continue to fight the fight. But as Debbie says, we're going out to bid, hopefully around the first of the year or a little thereafter. So, any questions? Anybody?
And thank you for asking.
Asking what?
Asking us to talk about it.
Oh, okay. I know, listen, I'm very proud of the staff for putting all of this together. And depending on, our engineers, working with our architect, Gary Gianfrancisco, it's a lot of work to put these applications together. And also Millennium, our grant writer, coming up, doing the actual hard work of actually writing this stuff. And it's something, when we get a grant, we get great joy out of it, because then we get the work done. Somebody once asked me, what do you do? As supervisor, I say, I get stuff done, right? That's what we want to do, for the benefit of the people of the town. All right, Debbie, anything else?
No.
Okay, thank you. The other reports, do we have a report from Crawford? I don't know that Vic is here.
Vic is here. And I can start with a video from our Holiday Lights celebration that was just held on Saturday.
Who did that, John? Was it Patrick?
When he was here.
Yes. Correct. Patrick Murphy was about to appear.
That's really beautiful.
Very nice.
Very nice.
And I have a
That's Portchester Council for the Arts.
That was our Christmas market. And I'll just scroll through the pictures. I think they speak for themselves. Except I will say that we have a wonderful partnership with the Carver Center now. And there were activities all over the mansion that were designed and staffed by the youth group volunteers at the Crawford Center. I'm sorry, Carver Center. And here they are. They had various projects put together with make your own hot cocoa mix and arts and crafts projects. These are all volunteers from the Carver Center. And our holiday train ride was very popular. And various bouncy castles. Yep, we had. We had elves. And one of the things that is most rewarding to me is, as wonderful as this is for the community, and as you can see, there are thousands of people who come together, the town's staff took such joy in planning and staffing this event. It was a coming together of all kinds of folks. And there's our town staff. That's it.
Mrs. Claus, Mrs. Claus.
Didn't even have to put padding under my, my outfit.
And Pam was Assistant Mrs. Claus.
Yes, we hear you.
I would just like to throw something in there. This is not an event. This is a production. This takes months. We start in the middle of the summer with the committee meetings and everything, but once Halloween hit, the Crawford staff starts putting out all these lights and ordering inflatables and contacting vendors and food trucks, and then I sent Debbie a little message today, and she saw how much time I had to talk to her. I walked 13 miles Saturday, just to make sure this thing runs the way it runs. And I'm so appreciative to the committee, the town volunteers, and especially the corporate staff.
Well, Vic, we are appreciative to you because I know how hard you work. The council knows how hard you work. Debbie knows how hard you work. You are the key cog in all of this, making it all work. As I say, making the trains run on time. It went off flawlessly. And you and your committee did a great job. The staff was wonderful. I even had one of my gym instructors was there. I didn't know. She told me the next day on Sunday that she was at Crawford Park and how wonderful it was. She was there with her baby. It was really just incredible. Everybody had such a wonderful time, and I think it's largely due to you and your staff putting this together with such love and affection. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Just chime in. I spoke with Ann Bradner from the Carver Center during the event, and Debbie was talking about the young volunteers we have that have come now for 2 years from Carver. And Ann says, you know, it's difficult for these kids to have a sense of belonging in the community But it's through events like this and in being part of something as big as this and giving back positively to other residents, it really helped make these teenagers from the Carver Center feel like they had a role, feel like they had agency, feel like they were giving something tangible and being a part tangibly of their community. And to me, that's a holiday gift.
It is. You're right.
You know, people came and we had thousands of people again, and I'm sure Vic knows. But when, you know, Congressman Latimer comes in, his jaw drops. He's like, it's bigger than it was last year. And people just come in with their eyes sparkling, waiting to meet Mrs. Claus and Santa. And there are so many pieces of this, but I think what it is a way to give joy. We're giving joy to the community, and I know all of us who are part of it are really proud of that, and proud of Vic and his team for facilitating it. So, Debbie, thank you. I know you and Carissa certainly pulled all the yeoman's duty, but just know that there are a lot of joy. So, thank you for that.
Great pleasure.
The
Really,
thing-
the whole staff.
Unfortunately, I wasn't able to attend, but when we have these events here, it's for the families to get together. It's a family event, and it pulls everybody together. You're away from your phones, you're away from your TV, and you're together. And that's another good thing about these events. And the staff does a fantastic job with everything.
Yeah, the thing that amazes me is how many people get online to see Mr. and Mrs. Santa Claus. They were there from 3:30 in the afternoon till 6 o'clock, constantly, no stop, no break. 6:30. Pardon me.
And they
Pardon
were
me.
online at 3. There were families that I
Well, I didn't
was
get there
chatting
till
with at 3
3:30, so-
o'clock.
And
So.
some of them were showing me photos that they took prior years, like, it's just so proud of what they have on their
I think it's great.
album.
I think it's just such a wonderful event. What else can we do?
It was fun.
All right, thank you, everybody, once again. Vic, anything else? We done?
I just wanted to thank Bill for working with us all these years I've been there. I wish you the best. And Tommy, I feel for your loss.
Thank you.
I wish I could have been there, but you know where I was.
It's all good.
All right, thanks, Vic. Okay, we have the financial report. Who's gonna give it? We have a new controller, and we have our old controller. Anybody wanna say anything?
I'm gonna defer. John's gonna do next.
That's funny.
So the only additional report is just the normal monthly receivables report through November 30th. The outstanding receivables, tax receivables, as of November 30th, is just about a little over 1.9 million. There's about 100,000 collected in the month of November. It's very quiet. There's still a total of 15 in-rem properties that are on the list, and 10 of them are from the class of 25. So we'll look to get those. Jeff has more insight along with Carla in terms of collections on those in-rem properties. Hopefully we can collect some in December to get them off the books by the end of the year.
Well, I know Jeff doesn't want to speak anymore. I spoke to him. We have one property that's in rem in bankruptcy, and we're expecting a payment this month, in fact, any day, of almost $235,000. So that will help with your receivables, our reserves, and everything else. So that would be good. The other one is on for court conference later this week. And then, Carla, we don't have any, the ones that are scheduled to go in REM, you haven't received any payments on those 10? Okay. Jeffrey will be sending very mean letters this week.
I'm good at that.
Especially now.
He's gonna have the Grinch on it.
That's right.
So
Okay.
the tax receiver can talk about the tax bills for December and January.
Thank you, Dave.
Hi. I don't really have a lot to talk about. Tax bills went out for the Village of Portchester. They're due at the end of the month. Please pay online. That's the easiest and fastest way. The mail is very slow to get the second installment. Residents did get both installments with the first bill. You can go online, you can view the bill, you could print the bill, but the easiest way to pay is online. That's it. I want to thank Jill for being so supportive of me. Really appreciate it. Happy holidays.
One more thing about the mailing, especially this time of year, the mail will be slow.
Oh, yes.
And the receiver has no power whatsoever under the law to forgive late payments. If the payment is due December 31st and it comes in on January 2nd, it will be charged interest and penalty as set forth in the law.
Well, it matters what it's post-dated.
It's
So-
postmarked.
Postmarked.
Yeah,
Post
but-
office.
So if it's postmarked December or something, yes, then we don't.
But if it comes in too late,
Yes, I know.
do not call the receiver to ask her, please waive the interest,
Oh, no, don't.
because she cannot do it. She's a very nice person, but it's against the law for her to do that. So,
Debbie, am I a nice person?
Thank you, Carla.
Happy
Sit down while you're ahead. All right, I think that should do it. Hope, your report is submitted. I know you have your favorite announcement to make.
For the shredder, the mobile shredder. Unfortunately, the
scary
shredder broke down the last time it was scheduled, but everything seems to be going well for December 20th. And from 10 to 1 in the parking lot at 222 Grace Church Street. But before that's my announcements. I just put some words together for you. And Jill, we started out as acquaintances, and then you became a member of the town family, and then a dear friend. I admired and watched you on the town council as you agreed to disagree, but I knew your heart was always in the right place, and the outcome has always resulted in what was best for the community and for our constituents. I watched you listen to each other, trying to not talk over each other, and as a result, have shared some wonderful ideas. I admired your eloquence and your intelligence. Thank you for being a vital part of the Town of Rye team and for all your concern and dedication. And thank you for your friendship, which I know will last for many years to come. May God bless you abundantly. And everyone
Anybody else before we adjourn?
Yeah, we've had some creative differences, as I like to call them, but it was always with respect. There was never any name calling, no, and that's one thing about this board, there's never any name calling, no cursing, it's always with respect, whether we agree or disagree. So, it was nice being with you for 8 years.
I think it's healthy discussion.
Yes, healthy discussions. And on a personal note, I just want to thank everybody for the condolences for my mom. It's been a real hard week. It was totally unexpected. But again, thank you for everybody. And at the funeral parlor, he wanted to know if I had the whole town of Rye over, because I had to turn people away. So I'm sorry about the people that came and got turned away, but it was beyond our control. So thank you again. And happy holidays to everybody.
Just want to reiterate, Jill, I remember I came in on your tail about 6 years ago, and Gary's like, okay, so let me tell you about the board. He's like, there are 2 other Democrats. There's a Democrat, but she's really, a financial conservative, and we have a Republican, but the Republican's really nice. Then my surprise, 2 years later, of course, you come in and you're now part of the town Democratic Party. But I just remember hearkening back, working on a book by these 2, God bless them, really crazy Fox commentators, and it was called Common Ground. And it was about how in this government, in this day and age, people don't listen to each other and they can't come to common ground. And it's so party-based. But even when I was brand new and I was looking up to you and you were teaching me so much, you were always the person I'd come to talk and to talk it through. And I always felt like we found that magical common ground. And like Tommy said, we're a family, and like Gary said, we're a family, and we all get along, and we may have heated discussions, and we all have opinions, but at the end of the day, when we agree to disagree, or we come together and we listen to each other, and we walk away with better understanding because we've taken perspective from each other. I have just learned so much sitting here with you for 6 years, and you have been an amazing role model. You're a wonderful, wonderful asset to the town and the county and your neighbors and all of us. And I hope you are happy. I hope you keep doing good for the people around you because you have a wonderful soul. And I think we've all been very blessed to share in that with you.
Thank you so much. My gosh. Very overwhelmed by all of this.
I think it's important, while we all respect each other, we can't agree on everything. Disagreements are important. And I think in my 2 years, many of the disagreements, points of discussion, have been raised by you. And I think that is a very important role to play. And what is supposed to be able to disagree without being disagreeable. And I think that is obviously very important, and it's a lost art in many parts of our country, but not here. And I appreciate the thoughtfulness that you've brought to our discussions. I also appreciate your willingness to disagree with Gary once in a while, because how boring life would be if we all just agreed with Gary about everything. And Gary knows a great deal of respect. I'm kind of joshing, but it is important because, there are legislative bodies, I think, like, in communist China, where the equivalent of Gary, Xi Jinping, says, this is it, and that's it. How boring. So thank you very much for being somebody who, in a polite and intelligent way, has brought issues that we all need to think about.
You are considerate of your constituents. And you always have put them first. And
That was my goal.
And Gary, did you ever think you'd be compared with Xi Jinping?
Actually, I thought that I'd be compared to a lot of people, but not him. No. First of all, let me just say this about that. Everybody seems to have the idea that Jill is in disagreement with all of us at one point or another. That is not the case. Most of the time, we are in agreement about issues. There are some times where we do have disagreements and we talk them out. And, sometimes things go one way, things go the other way. But I think I can, basically everybody here has said the same thing, which is we talk things out, we work things out, we come to conclusions. There's never any animosity. And we understand that we're a board that's elected to do the best for the people of the town of Rye. And we all do that. We approach things in different ways. We have different methods, we have different philosophies sometimes, but we come together and we do things. I think this budget is an example of it. There was some discussion when we first started about how big it would be. Could we cut things? Should we add to certain things? And through that process and working with the staff, they came up with certain cuts, certain amendments, and we came up with a very, very excellent budget, I think, and that provides all the services that we need for the town, and we've provided proper raises for our employees, and I think that's the way we work things, and it's not just on that issue, it's on all the issues. Should we do this or that? We've had other philosophical issues where things have come to the town. Should we do this or should we do that, even if it didn't involve money directly? And we've talked things out. We've spoken to each other on the telephone or in a text without violating the open meetings rules. Certainly not. But we've had discussions as to the direction we should go. And sometimes one or another of us would disagree with the general direction. We talk it out, and we all end up heading in the same direction eventually. And Jill, you have been a tremendous participant. I won't say instigator, but leader in leading some of these discussions.
I think I prefer her choice of terminology, but okay.
No, you have led in many respects, and we all appreciate that. And we're going to miss you on the board. Although I know that your successor has a certain reputation as well.
She is also a leader.
And we will we'll go forward. And if you have anything you ever want to suggest to me or any member of the board, just pick up the phone. Ask why we're doing something, or should we do something. If you have ideas of what we should do, or ideas of what we shouldn't do, just let us know. Yeah, you can call us anytime, especially Hope. Call Hope.
I got a better idea. Come to the meeting. We need some
People who come to the meetings.
Yeah, this is the most crowded meeting we've had in a long time. So, with that, I will, Jill, you've already said.
Yeah,
I
I've
think
said so much.
You
But,
say,
I
you
guess-
said it so well, much better.
Thank you. I guess
Thank
we'll
you.
just let things
So, I'm going to, our next meeting is
January 6th.
January the 6th. That's a big meeting, and you're invited.
Okay, excellent.
So, with that, may I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved. My last motion.
There you go. Seconded, my last second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everybody.